comes to becoming the butterfly, when it comes to having your cake and eat it too, right? We talked yesterday about the first pieces of this process, of the manifestation process. So today is February 22nd. This is a beautiful day for you to be on this event, for you to be hearing what I'm saying, and for you to make a decision to be, do, and have something different. This is not a coincidence, baby. It's 222. So we will talk a little bit about, just because of the date, we will talk a little bit about that angel number, what it means to me, how you can use it for yourself going forward, and all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and mute that. Let's make sure the Zoom is together. Okay, I am on Zoom. Y'all can hear me. Beautiful. Welcome back, everybody. This is day 2 of Have Your Cake and Eat It Too. So this is the second piece of this process, right? Yesterday, we went through a process of uncovery, right? A process of self-awareness. If you expect to have your cake and eat it too, if you expect to create the life of your dreams, if you expect to use this 222 date as a catalyst for your success, you must know where you are currently. You have to know where you're starting from. If you expect to get on the road to the life of your dreams, you must know where you are currently. If you go to your Apple Maps right now and you tell them that you want to go to the Walmart on 5th Street, it's going to ask you what your location is. It's going to say, where is my location? If you do not have a my location, you are not going to be able to manifest the life of your dreams. If you do not know where you are currently, you're not going to be able to get on the road to the life of your dreams, okay? So yesterday was all about self-awareness. Yesterday was all about, who am I? Who do I believe myself to be? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about entrepreneurship? What do I believe about being a parent, right? We have to bring these beliefs up to the surface in order for you guys to actually transform, in order for you to actually create the life of your dreams, right? So like I said, today it's 222. We are going to talk about this date, and we're going to talk about how you can use it as far as going forward in the month, in the year, in your life, right? And what you can associate 222 with when you see that angel number, right? Angel numbers are numbers that are that go in come in threes, typically threes, fours. I mean, it could go up, right? But angel numbers typically come in threes. So today's date, February 22nd, this is an angel number, right? So I am having a 2-day masterclass specifically to use this date. Okay, so that's a little bit about yesterday. We are going to go over the homework. So if you were here yesterday, the homework assignment was for you to become aware of your beliefs, right? Aware of how you see yourself, what you believe about motherhood, entrepreneurship, parenthood, what you believe about yourself, and what you believe about money, right? Because I want you guys to be transformed. I do not want you, well, let me not say that. I want you to come to an event that I'm having, hear me speak, and actually implement what I'm telling you. I don't want you to leave the event and just have awareness. Awareness is perfect. That's the first start. You must be aware, but you also have to be able to change it. You have to change your mind. You can't just be aware of your beliefs that are hindering you and then keep the beliefs, right? You must change your mind, right? So we'll go over the homework. And then if you didn't get the workbook, you still can. This is not just a workbook for this event. You can use this workbook for any belief that you have, any belief that comes up, any goal that you want to have, any dream you want to achieve. You can use this workbook to achieve it, right? So it's not specific for this event. You can use it for any belief. You can use it for anything in your life. So you still can get the blueprints or the workbook. So if you would like it, you can click the link in my bio, just register for this event. You can do it until noon, and then you'll get the workbook, right? So the workbook is going to give you the step-by-step process of actually changing your mind. Remember I said, hello Tish, how are you, beautiful? Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Your mind must be renewed. You must change your mind. You must change your mind from, I cannot have my cake and eat it too. I cannot do it all. I cannot have both. I have to choose. You must change your mind from that negative limiting belief to, I can have my cake and eat it too. I was created to have it all. I'm created in God's image and thus have the kingdom of God within me, right? You must change your mind. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. You must change your mind, right? If you want permanent change, if you want to be transformed, God said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay. So we're going to talk about the homework. We'll talk about those steps. We'll go through them together. And then we will talk about the second half, right? So yesterday was self-awareness. Yesterday was about Who do I believe I am? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about entrepreneurship? What do I believe about motherhood? Right? That was yesterday. So today, now that we have those, thank you so much, love. I appreciate you. Now that we have those beliefs to the surface, right? We're consciously aware of them. We know what they are now. We're aware of them. We are going to shift them. We're going to create a belief that's actually going to serve us. Okay? So just a quick recap before we get into the homework. Yesterday, we spoke about you being a spiritual being, having a human experience, okay? You are not a human being. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are God in human form. God is formless. God is all. God is everything. You as a spiritual being having a human experience, your human vessel gives God his form. Okay? God is formless, but your human vessel gives him the form. Your human consciousness gives him the form. So that's what we talked about yesterday, right? We're going to go a little bit deeper into consciousness today because that is the mind piece, right? So in order for you to be permanently transformed, in order for you to create permanent transformation, and it's 1010 on 222. Okay. 1010 is another angel number that I love. And we'll talk a little bit about that one today, as well as 222, just because it just popped up. So, and then now I lost my train of thought. Spiritual being, human experience. I don't know. Let's just pick up wherever we are, right? So God created you in his image, right? You are created in the image of the creator. Okay. You and God are one. You and God are soulmates. Just as the sun cannot be separated from the sunbeam, you cannot be separated from your source of supply, which is God. I and my Father are one. Okay? You are God in human form. And I stressed this, or I don't want to say stress. I emphasized this a lot yesterday because I want you guys to understand you're not just no regular, degular, schmegular body on this planet. You are a spiritual being. You were created in God's image. You have God powers. The power to create, God gave you. He gave you the power to create, so that you could create your heaven on earth, so that you would already be in the God consciousness when you died and went to your eternal heaven. God did not create you in his image to suffer on earth. That's not what he has you for. He did not have you here. He does not have you here as his child to be cramped, to be eating cheap food, to be on cheap dates, to be doing cheap things, right? But we have been programmed to believe that there is not enough. The world will tell you continuously if you turn on the news. I don't watch the news. I can't tell you nothing about what's going on in the economy right now. I cannot tell you anything about what is happening on the outside world, because what I know for sure is that God within me creates my outside. The outside world does not affect me unless I allow it to. But if I believe that we live in a limited universe, if I believe that there's scarcity, if I believe that there's not enough, right? That belief has a totally different perspective and reality than someone who believes that God provides all, that we live in an infinite universe, that everything is abundance, that everything is prosperous, right? It's all about the belief that you're coming from. And society has programmed us to not know who we are, to believe we're just bodies, that we're supposed to be here working, that we're supposed to be sitting in traffic for 3 hours every day, that we're supposed to only have 2 days to ourselves, and not really to yourselves, because you got to get ready for the week. You got to get your kids ready. You got to get your spouse ready. You're like, society has programmed us to rush. It has programmed us to believe that there is not enough. If you go outside right now, I want you to try to count the leaves on the trees and tell me we don't live in an abundant universe. I want you to go outside and try to count the leaves on those trees. I want you to try to count Jeff Bezos's wealth by itself and tell me we do not live in an abundant universe, right? But when you've been programmed to believe that there is not enough, and this image just came up for me, and I want to bring this up because this is something that I've thought about, right? We live in America, right? I'm assuming most of the people on here are in America in some way. You're in the United States, right? I don't know about y'all, but I remember when I was a kid, I remember those commercials about Africa, right? And how it was such a poor country and continent. And it was just, I mean, it was just, you know, dirt poor, poverty, no money, no water, no this, no that, right? They painted this image of Africa as a poor continent. They painted this image as of Black people on the other side of the globe, right, living in poverty, right? I don't know about you guys, but I have since learned that Africa, the continent, the countries in Africa are rich. I'm talking about money. Have you ever seen an African wedding? Have you ever seen how those weddings work? They literally have the bride stand there and throw money at her until she like laughs or till she smiles or something. Like, we came from wealth. We came from kings and queens. We came from royalty. And then they brought us over here, right? And then started to, oh, and I forgot. If you're new here, my name is M. Simone. I'm sorry, I didn't even do an introduction, right? My name is M. Simone. I'm a student of God's work. I am a success, life, and manifestation mentor for moms, entrepreneurs, and mompreneurs. I am a mompreneur myself. If you hear that baby in the background, that's my son. He has come back from his week getaway, and he is talking his face off. So if you hear a baby in the background, that's who that is. You'll never see Houston on camera, but you may hear him. If at some point I need to tend to his needs, I will, because I'm a mom first and an entrepreneur second. Boom, let's get back into it. So we've been programmed, though. They programmed us to believe that Africa was a poor continent, right? They programmed us to see this a certain way. And as me being a African American or someone who is Black, someone who identifies, right, as a Black American, right, seeing Africa as a poor continent shaped how I saw myself, shaped how I thought about myself. Like, oh my God, maybe it is better to be over here in America enslaved than to be in a poor country. Right now, that's not what this event is about. It just came up to me. It just came up from my subconscious, right? About how we've been programmed to believe certain things. And we've been programmed to believe that there's scarcity, and we've been programmed to believe there has to be competition, and you can't have both. You got to choose. You're either going to be a mom and you're going to be successful at that, a homemaker, or you're going to be a business owner, or you're going to be a corporate woman. You can't do all three. You can't do both. You can only choose one, right? You're not going to be able to have the physical health and the mental health. You can't have the money and the peace. You can't have the money and the spirituality, right? They taught us to believe that money is evil, that money and God don't go together. I don't know about you guys, but God was very clear in everything he said in the Bible. One of the things specifically he was clear on is to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Righteousness is right-mindedness. Right-mindedness is a right consciousness. And we're going to talk about consciousness today. We're going to talk about mind today, because yesterday we talked about spirit. Spirit is first. You are a spiritual being. Today we're going to talk about the mind. You have an intellectual mind. And tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the other piece of it, or the last piece of the puzzle, is you live in a physical body. Okay, so spirit, mind, body. At the Great School of Life, we combine all three. You must have all three to have permanent manifestation, to be changed, to be transformed, to actually live the life that you imagine. You must have your spirit, your mind, and your body all in one accord toward your dream. That is how manifestation works. Okay. So we talked about spirit yesterday. Today we're going to talk about the mind, right? But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness and his right-mindedness and his right consciousness. And all these things shall be added unto you. All these things, not a few of these things, not a couple of these things, all of these things. He said all of the things are being added, not a few. I want to be very clear about what God said, because, society, and again, how we've been programmed. Religion will program you to believe that you got to be poor to get to heaven. Religion will program you to believe you got to suffer on earth to prove your worthiness to get into heaven. Baby, you were worthy when you got here. You were worthy when you were born. You were worthy when you were conceived. You came from God himself. You've been worthy. There is nothing that you can do on this planet to make yourself more worthy or less worthy. You are worthy right now of everything you want. Everything you want, you are worthy of. You were born with the worth. There is nothing that you can do to be more worthy or less worthy. You are worthy for all and everything just in being, just in existing. You are worthy. I don't know if you guys saw this video, but I'll probably make another one because it was really in the moment. I'm very much so a God speaks to me. He tells me to do something. I'm obedient. I do the shit in the moment. I don't really take the time to do all the other stuff, right? But I did make a video talking about how God has called me to preach his word, right? And to actually teach or interpret the Bible in a way that's relevant for now and that helps you actually unlock what it promises you. It didn't promise you either or. It said all these things shall be added. The Bible promises you all these things, not a few of these things. All these things should be added. But if society has programmed you to forget that promise, if society has programmed you, right, to believe that there is not enough, if society has programmed you that you can't have your cake and eat it too, that is a saying that everybody has heard. That's why I named this masterclass, Have Your Cake and Eat It Too, because we have all heard, oh, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, what the fuck do I have the cake for? Why do I have the cake if I can't eat it? What is the point of having the cake? God didn't create you on this earth, create you in his image, create you as a creator to consume, to only consume, to not have enough to consume, to overconsume. He created you to create. He created you to create solutions for other people's problems. And in you creating solutions for other people's problems, right? You are then compensated. You are then provided what you need to continue providing the service. If you are God's child, as we all are, but if you're aware that you're God's child, right, and you are coming into a space now where you're ready to serve, you are solving other people's problems. You are solving God's children's problems, and God will provide you with what you need to continue solving their problems. But the issue that we run into, and I think it was Myron Golden, I follow him on social media. He said, and it was like, oh my goodness, he said that the reason that you have troubles financially, I want y'all to hear me. The 17 of y'all that's on here, it's 5 million people on here. I don't care what it say on here. It's 5 million of y'all, and I want you to hear me. The reason that you have so much trouble financially is because the only problem that you are trying to solve is your own. Listen to me closely. Let me say it again. The only reason, 666, the only reason that you are having trouble financially is because the only problems that you are trying to solve are your own. You are here to solve other people's problems with your experience and your perspective. True. You are too focused on yourself and only your issues. That's where your issue is. When I first got into this study of manifestation, I absolutely wanted to help other people, but it was more for me when I first started. Oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want to be able to do this. It was more for me. It was about solving my problems. And when I was speaking to people, right, so season other people's lives. And when I was speaking to people, right, I was talking to them about what they wanted, but in the back of my mind, I was really thinking about what I wanted. I would teach this material. I would teach you guys how to create the life of your dreams from God's perspective as a God, as God in human form. I would teach you guys how to do this regardless of if I ever got paid again. If God never gave me another red cent through this channel of speaking to you guys about this material, I would still do it. I have decided to dedicate my life to doing this regardless of if funds come from it. The money is a byproduct. The service that I'm providing is why I'm doing it. Having you guys change is why I'm doing it. I do not want anybody that hears me speak to not have what they need to actually implement what I'm talking about. It does not serve me if I'm the only one that has money. If you're the only person that's successful around you, you're not really successful. If I can't teach other people how to be successful, if I can't transfer my skills to you, I'm not successful. I'm a billionaire, but ain't nobody else around me got money. Then I'm not successful. Right? Before I got into this study, I was what you would call successful, right? I was the poster child for success, straight A's in school, honor roll, took some extra credit classes to have some college credits, went to college, graduated in 3 years with a 4-year degree, graduated cum laude, bought my first house, all these great things, right? All this success, all these successful things. But I couldn't tell you how I did that. I couldn't tell you how I was successful, why I was successful. Yeah, I could tell you, oh, I went to school. Oh, I studied. Oh, I did this. That's not what makes you successful, though. That's not the actual success. They tell you that you must go to school to be successful. You got to get a degree. You got to work at the career for the company for 25, 40 years. Show your loyalty. Be loyal to this company. They have given you a paycheck every 2 weeks for 30 years, as you should. I came in here and work. That's not you're supposed to pay me. I give you a service. I provide you a service. You pay me. That's not like you don't get a pat on the back for that, right? But they programmed us to believe that there was a certain route that we had to take to be successful. Let me be the one to tell you. I went to college. I have a math degree. I bought the house. I had the money in the savings. I did all of these things. And I was miserable. Attitude trash, pessimistic, didn't care about anybody's feelings, very much so selfish, very much so just all about myself. But I had money, but I had a house, I had a degree. Do you see how those things don't make you successful? That's not success. I'm going to tell you the 3 steps to success, right? And then we're going to get into material because I done got off. But I'm going to give you guys the 3 steps to success. This is how you are going to identify yourself as successful. This is how you're going to do it, and no other way. No other way are you going to identify success other than these 3 things that I'm about to tell you. And before I say that, the amount of money you make does not make you successful. The people you're surrounded by doesn't make you successful. What you know doesn't make you successful. I'm going to tell you the 3 things that makes you successful. Number 1, knowing, and this is actually great pivot into what we're going to be talking about. Number 1, knowing what you want to do and then doing it. Number 1, that's it. Knowing what you want to do and then doing it. I know without a shadow of a doubt what I want to do. I'm doing it right now, and I am doing it. Every single day, I create content for this. I create events for this. I send out emails for this. I reach out to people specifically for this because I know what I want to do. I want to teach. I want to speak. I want to use my experiences to help other people that were in the situation that I used to be in. The person that I was 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago when I started this journey, there are people all around the world in that same exact position, looking for a sign that they can make it out. That's what I'm doing. I am the sign that you can get out of that shit. The Matrix, all that BS that they tell you about, I'm the sign to tell you can get out, right? So knowing what you want to do and then doing it. Second thing, specialize, right? Specialize in a specific area of what you want to do and know more about it than anybody else. I don't care who you put on the stand. I don't care who you put on this podium. Nobody knows more about God-centered manifestation. Nobody knows more about y'all might know about energetic, manifestation and all these other things. Nobody knows more about God-centered manifestation than M. Simone. Nobody. I don't care. I don't care who you put up on the podium. I don't care who you search. I know more than anybody else about God-centered manifestation. That's not coming from a place of saying that I'm better than anybody. That's not coming from a place of saying of ego. That's coming from a place of I am speaking who I desire to be in existence. I desire to be, and I believe that I am. I know that I am, but I desire to be the top. I'm talking about the leader, the person that the big boys go to, like, oh, let's go talk to M. Simone, because you know she's the leader in God-centered manifestation. Okay. Last thing. You must do what it is you want to do for the betterment of humanity. It cannot just be for you. I cannot just teach manifestation to receive money just for my benefit. That's not how it works. There must be a higher purpose to what you are doing, right? I'm not teaching this manifestation for me anymore. I am a byproduct. My success is a byproduct. The money that I'm going to get is a byproduct of what I'm teaching, right? The purpose, the reason that I'm doing this is because there are billions of souls on this planet who believe shitty beliefs. That's just what it is. We have been programmed to believe, the worst of the worst things, especially people of color, especially Black people, people that came from enslaved ancestors. The amount of beliefs that we were given as enslaved people that we have not uncovered are still creating the trauma and the results that we're getting. A lot of us are working with beliefs that are ancient. We're talking about our ancestors' beliefs. If you don't change your beliefs, you're keeping the same beliefs that everybody else had. You cannot escape from a prison if you are not aware of it. I am the disruptor in my family. Before I got here, before I became, right, there was a certain paradigm. There was a certain habitual way of operating for my family. And honestly, I wasn't even supposed to be here. I'm really like one in a billion. That's why I'm gonna be a billionaire. No, but I really wasn't supposed to be here. My parents were told they couldn't have kids. Here I am. Here I am. It's not coincidence. Today is 2/22. Okay, I'm going to talk briefly about this angel number, right? Because I want you guys to understand why I chose to do a 2-day masterclass and why I'm going to keep talking about this number later on in the event, right? 2/22 is an angel number. 2/2/2, 3 2s all in a row. It's an angel number. Okay. Now, I want you guys to create empowering beliefs. I never tell anybody what to believe. I inspire you to create new beliefs. I want you to create whatever beliefs serve you. So if the belief that I'm about to give you about this 2/2/2 angel number does not serve you, that is fine. Leave it at the door. Take what serves you and leave what doesn't. You can create whatever meaning you want to give it. Yesterday, I talked about when it's raining outside. The rain just is. The rain just is. That situation just is. It is your perspective, the lens through which you see the world, that gives the rain meaning. It's raining outside. Here's one perspective. It's raining. I need to go outside. I cannot do what I need to do. Every time I need to do what I need to do, something always comes up. Like, now my whole week is thrown off. Now you see that train of thought? That's one perspective. That's one consciousness. That's one belief system. And then you have the other person that sees the rain and says, oh my gosh, it's raining. That means I get to stay inside. I'm about to turn on the fireplace. I'm about to make s'mores. We're about to have hot cocoa. We're about to watch a movie. Same scenario. It's raining. Your consciousness is the lens through which you filter your reality. You do not live in reality. You live in your perception of reality. That is why we all could be in the same space, and there's Jeff Bezos, who's worth $300 billion, and there's, Joe Schmo down the street who's worth $100,000, right? We can all be in the same space. We just have different perspectives of reality. All right, 2/2/2, angel number. This is and this is what has helped me. This is what guides me. This is what keeps me focused. Angel numbers are signs from God, signs from your angels, signs from guardians, signs from your ancestors to keep you on track, to have you take a certain turn, to have you do a certain thing or be a certain way. Okay. The 222 angel number for me represents trust and it represents presence. Okay. Now, before this week, right? Because this is something that my awareness has shifted, expanded so fast this week. But when I used to see 222, that angel number, it used to be trust and present. Okay, present. So that means when it used to mean, right, I want to trust right now, I need to trust and be present. Trust God and be present. Present means stop living in the future, stop living in the past. Find the gratitude, find the joy, find the beauty of right now. That's what it means to be present, to stop being anxious about the future, worrying about what you think may happen, or worrying about what did happen, being depressed in the past, is to be present in the future and present in the now, and to understand that now is all you have. All you have is the present. The future is not here yet. The past no longer exists. It's no longer here. It's gone. All you have is the present. And all you can change is the present. You can only change your situation today. You can't change it tomorrow. You can only change it right now. Right? So 222 meant trust and present. Now I have it meaning trust and presence, right? A little bit different. The presence is God's presence, right? The Lord's presence, Spirit's presence. So when I see 222 now, that tells me that I need to trust and I need to understand that God is present with me now. His presence is here. It's flowing through how I think, feel, and act. That gives me a certain amount of confidence to walk through the day when my bank account says otherwise, when my relationships are saying otherwise, when social media is saying otherwise. We have to get to a point. What I teach you how to do is to stay in control of you no matter what's going on outside of you. You were programmed. God created you with certain tools to stay in control of the inside, no matter what's happening on the outside. He did not create you to be a puppet for the outside. He did not create you to internalize what the outside says about you and create it and keep it to be your reality. When I was little, they told me that I was selfish. They told me that I was spiteful. They told me that I had an attitude all the time. This is what they told me about myself. So what did I do as a child? I said, hell no, I don't believe that. That's not true. False. I said, okay, no option to choose anything different. And I started to believe that I was selfish. I started to believe that I was spiteful. And I started to believe that I had an attitude. If I believe that to be true of myself, I'm going to operate that way. My actions, I didn't really get rid of my attitude until like last year. So we're talking about from like 6 or 7 years old to 27, 20 years of something that somebody told me as a child that I kept with me and operated as if it was true. You have a host of beliefs that you have believed to be true that are no longer serving you. Okay, so we're going to go over the homework briefly. Okay, so now if you do not have the Change Your Mind workbook, this workbook is not just for this event. This workbook you can use for any goal you're trying to reach, anything you want to manifest. This is the process that you are going to take your mind through to change it. Remember what God said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, the changing of your mind. Okay. So in order for you to make your life, to create this life that you've imagined, where you have the money, the fame, the cars, the house, the relationships, the spirituality, the business, the self-concept, the business, the career, the family, the kids, the travel, the silence, the rest, the relaxation, the spa, the self-care, everything that you want, everything that you imagine, right, that you want, there is a belief system that will get you there. And there's a belief system that will keep you from it entirely. The belief system that you have right now is keeping you from it entirely. How do I know that? Because you're not living the life you want to live. That's how you'll know. Am I living the life that I want to live? No, then you're not living from the belief system that would create the life you want to live. You're living from the belief system that's going to keep you creating the life you're at right now. Okay. So in the Change Your Mind workbook, click the link in my bio. If you're on TikTok, you can click the link in my bio and you can still get the workbook. It's $22.22. Circulate $22.22 today. Circulate $22.22 today. I'm going to give you an opportunity to circulate something grander than that too, but circulate that feeling, that trust and that presence. When you circulate your money today, when you spend your money today with whatever you buy, I want you to circulate it in that 222 presence, in the trusting that God is going to multiply what you just put out and being present to his presence right then. On the back of your money, what does it say? Have you guys seen a dollar bill lately? Have you guys seen like money, physical money lately? What does it say on the back, on the US dollar? It says, in God we trust. That's what it says. It says, in God we trust. In God we trust. They put those words on the money. God had a man put those words on the money to remind us of his presence when we're circulating it. That money, the money that you're circulating is God condensed, is what you want condensed, is what you want concentrated down into a portable form that we use for society today. Money is God in action. There is a book called Money is God in Action. It is actually a book that you get anytime you enroll with the grade school. Well, depends on what course you enroll in, but you'll get that book, right, in the Millionaire Bookshelf. Money is God in Action. It's about 15 pages, 13, 14, 15 pages. Beautiful piece of literature. But when you're circulating your money, I want you to remember what it says on the back. It says, in God we trust. It says, in God we trust. So when you see 222 today, when you see 222 going forward, anytime you see that angel number, I want you to trust in God, trust in yourself to work with God. And I want you to feel his presence. I want you to feel the presence of God within you. Whether you need to put on some music real quick, you need to do a quick meditation. I don't care what it is. I want you to, when you see 222 going forward, to trust that God is making the way for you. You've made the decision. He makes the way. I'm this multiple times today. I don't make decisions. Excuses. I don't make excuses. I make decisions. When I make the decision, God makes the way. That is our statement of truth. It's not an affirmation. We're not affirming it. It's a statement of truth. This is our truth, and we are stating it to the universe. I do not make excuses. I make decisions. When I make the decision, God makes the way. If you can internalize that statement of truth, if you can believe that, God will show you instantly how true it is. But you have to believe that. You have to believe that you don't make excuses and you make decisions instead. I don't make excuses about why I can't do anything. Oh, I want to move forward in life. Oh, well, I don't have the money. Oh, I don't know nobody. Oh, I don't got the education. You're making excuses versus making a decision to have the thing. When you make the decision, when you cut off everything else, remember yesterday I talked about the word decision, and we'll talk about it a little bit today too. I'm already 42 minutes in. Girl, you got a lot to talk about. Okay. We talked about decision yesterday, right? Decision, D-E, and then scission. D-E is off, right? Off. Like delete, off. D-E is off, and then scission, right? Scission, that word, what does that sound like? Scission, a cut, right? To cut, right? So when you have an incision in your body, they cut inside of you. Incision, okay? So a decision is when you cut, the D is off, and then to cut off. When you make a decision, you cut off all realities, all versions of yourself that does not align with that decision. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying, because I know it's going to go over your head. And thank you, Jess, for popping up with that 777, baby. Okay, another angel number. It means introspection to me. You can make it mean whatever you want. So that means when I see 777, it reminds me to go within, to go back and talk to God a little bit. You're doing a little bit too much outside. Let's go back within. Back to the what was we talking about? Damn it, Jess. Good morning, love. I appreciate you being here. 222. Y'all, what was I saying? Decision. Oh, decision. Okay, so yes. So when you make a decision, right? So our key statement of truth, or our statement of truth. I don't make excuses. I make decisions. When I make the decision, God makes the way. Okay. When you make a decision, that means you are cutting off all other options. When I made the decision, I know y'all hear Houston in the background. When I made the decision to become a success, life, and manifestation mentor, when I made the decision to jump into entrepreneurship in May 2020 with no experience, and I started to fail immediately, and then I made another decision to get back into sales because I was scared, and then I made another decision to get out of sales and get back. When I made these decisions, right, God made the way. But do you see how I was back and forth and I wasn't real clear on my decision? I was just saying, okay, well, I'm going to do this. Okay, well, I'll do this. Okay, well, I'll do this. In January 2024, I had my son, that baby that's making all that noise in the background. And I made a decision firmly. I made a decision confidently. I made a permanent decision that I was going to dedicate the rest of my life to teaching this material, to being a steward of God's work, to being a product of the product that I sell, to be a product of God's mercy. I made a decision to do that. And you know what God did? After I made the decision and I was for real, he cut off all of everything in my life. The people isolated me, stripped me of my house, my car, money, relationships, everything. He said, move back in with your mama. Go stay with your mama, go stay with your daddy, and sit your ass down somewhere. You're doing too much. You're giving a lot of power to the outside world. You told me what you wanted. You said you want to be a steward of my work. You want to be this mentor. You want to help billions of people wake up and come back to me in consciousness. I have to show you. I have to create you and make you the example. I have to make you an example of what happens when people make a decision and they allow me to make the way. The amount of isolation and rock bottomness I felt last year, and just being alone, and felt like I had nothing, and felt like I was being like picked on, or I was being like, picked out of a lineup, like, let's choose her for the most trauma. That's how it felt at the time. But as soon as I started to sit in the silence and I started to hear God truly speaking to me, because God has been speaking to you your whole life. God is speaking to you right now. Some of y'all didn't follow the directions when you got the email, and you got a whole lot of outside noise around you. So you're hearing God, but you're hearing all this too. So you're really not hearing him because you got a whole lot of other stuff in the background. No shade, no judgment, just an observation. Okay. So God is always speaking to you, but if you always have the outside world speaking to you, you cannot hear the inner wisdom. So he sat me by myself. He sat me with him until I became one with him. The date specifically that I can tell you and we'll talk about this here in a second. I'm gonna get into it, I promise. The day that I became what I'm going to call, and what I'll teach you, the day that I became subjectively convinced of my oneness with God was October 20th. Okay. The day that I accepted subjectively, I became subjectively convinced of my oneness with God on October 20th. Okay. That is the moment that everything really started to shift, like to the point where I knew that I had been transformed and that I was transforming, because I felt different. I felt calm, I felt confident, and I felt secure. Now, it was some waves. It didn't stay like that. But I can confidently, say that now I have gotten to a point where I'm ready to help other people. I'm ready to help you do it. I'm ready to be by your side while you go through it, because I went through it and it hurt. It was uncomfortable. I didn't have the community that I'm creating. I didn't have the people around me already doing these type of things to keep me on course, right? I didn't have that. That's why the Great School of Life is so important to me. And that's why the community, the private access to the community, is so important to me, because I understand being isolated by myself and not having any other chosen ones around me, how that can feel. Now I'm strong enough to get through it by myself, but I don't want to, and I don't want you guys to. All right. So today, the homework was to go through steps 1 through 4 in the workbook, right? So step 1, I'm gonna pull it up real quick here. Step 1 is, hold on. Step 1 is basically to figure out what your beliefs are, right? What do I believe? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Let me pull it up. Okay, great. So yeah, so what do I believe, right, about myself? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about entrepreneurship? What do I believe about motherhood? What do I believe about these things? Right. So I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to go through this with you. I'll pick a belief for myself, right? So I can show you how this process works. And this is something you're going to do with every single belief you have. It's simple, it's easy, it's to the point, very structured, very to the point, right? So step 1, what are my current beliefs? So let's pick, what do I believe to be true about entrepreneurship? Okay, so what do I believe to be true about entrepreneurship? And I will purposely find a limiting belief, right? A belief that is limiting to me. I do have very positive beliefs and empowering beliefs about all these areas, but I've done that work. But that's not going to help you. So, what do I believe about entrepreneurship? I would say that I do still believe that there are days where you're not going to make money as an entrepreneur. Okay, I believe that there are days that you are not going to make money as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, there are going to be days that go by where you do not make money. Let me not even say, let me say weeks. Let's just make it a little bit more, dramatic, right? Because days, weeks, there might be weeks to go by where you don't make any money. Okay. That's step 1. Step 1 is to identify the limiting belief. So my limiting belief, or the belief that I have, we didn't really label it limiting yet. Hold on. So what is my belief about entrepreneurship? I believe that I may not make money for weeks at a time as an entrepreneur. That's the belief. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2, are these beliefs limiting or empowering, right? This belief, is the belief that I may not make money weeks at a time empowering or limiting as an entrepreneur? For me, it's limiting. It's not empowering. It's not empowering to believe that I'm not going to make money. It don't matter what time frame it is, a week, 2 weeks, a day, it doesn't matter. It is limiting to believe that I'm not going to make money at something, at my job, at my career. Okay. So is that belief limiting or empowering? It's limiting, right? Is it keeping me stuck or propelling me forward? It's keeping me stuck, right? And then why? Why is that belief limiting? I just kind of explained it to you guys, right? But why is that belief limiting? Because if I believe that there are going to be times where I'm not going to make money, I'm expecting to not make money. I have an expectation that I'm not going to make money, right? That's why it's limiting to me. So it's actually hindering my inflow of money because I'm expecting that I'm not going to get any. You guys see how that's limiting, right? So this is have your cake and eat it too. That's going to keep you from having your cake and eating it too. Okay, so step 1, identify the belief. Step 2, is it limiting or empowering, and why? Step 3, where did this belief come from, right? I don't want you to just understand or just know what the belief is. I want you to understand how this shit actually works, because you are always, right, creating new beliefs. You're always, well, let me say this. You have a core belief system and your experiences continue to enhance whatever beliefs you have, right? So they give you like more pieces to it. So you can your mind can put together pieces like, here, see, this is true. Because look how many, look at what's happening. See, this is true. That's how your mind works. It tries to get a lot of evidence. And we're going to get evidence later. That's another part of this workbook. And that's why it's so important. So please get it. If you haven't gotten it yet, it's not just for this event. Click the link in my bio before noon, register, and get the workbook. It's 2222. Circulate 2222 today. Get in the feeling of that angel number. But step 3, where did this belief come from? The belief that I'm not going to make money all the time as an entrepreneur came from my mom telling me that as an entrepreneur, or she was an entrepreneur for a little bit, but my stepdad was really an entrepreneur, right? So she taught me that there's going to be times where you're not going to make money as an entrepreneur, right? At what age did I start believing that? That was probably like Because that's when they were doing real estate right before the crash. So that was in I think I was in like elementary school, right? But that's this. Oh, look at that, another 777. Okay, I need to do some more introspection. But where did the belief come from? That's step 3. So the belief came from my mom around probably like 5th grade, right? She was like, you can't, there's gonna be times where you don't make money as an entrepreneur, right? So that already set up a belief system that I need to go get a job because that's more secure. And I know I'm gonna always get paid. But then you get laid off because they restructure. And now, okay, anyways, so that's step 3. And then step 4, which is the last step that I wanted you guys to do on your own, is, are these beliefs, you okay? Hold that for mommy. Are these beliefs relative or absolute truths? This is important because a lot of times what happens is we have believed these things for so long that we truly believe that it's true. Like we believe that this is how it works. Y'all know the statistic that that in the first 5 years, most businesses fail. Just because most people believe that, and actually before, let me say it like this. The reason that most businesses fail in the first 5 years is because most people believe that businesses fail in the first 5 years. That is it. My mentor has been in business for 4 years and she's done $35 million in business. Most businesses fail in the first 5 years because their founders, their owners believe that most businesses fail in the first 5 years because that's what they've been taught. Okay. Are these beliefs relative or absolute truths? A relative truth is truth sometimes, is true occasionally, is true maybe. That's a relative truth, right? A relative truth, let's say, is Christmas, right? We celebrate Christmas here on December 25th. That is Christmas Day. That is a belief that we have. That is a relative truth. How do I know it's relative? Because I could go to another country that is not a Christian-based country, and on the December 25th does not mean Christmas for them. They have no belief system around that. So the day does not mean that. That's a relative truth. A relative truth is relative to the times, right? Here in America, they want you to be skinny, right? Skinny is beautiful. Slim is beautiful. You go to some of these other countries, baby, they want the pounds packed on. Pack on the pounds. Where is the meat? She's no meat. That's what they want, right? These are relative truths. Africa, exactly. Thick. We want them full, fed. We don't want no bones, right? But that is a relative truth, okay? What is an absolute truth? The law of gravity is an absolute truth. It is absolutely true that no matter where you go on this planet, if you drop a pin, it is going to go down. If you stand up, you are going to be grounded. The earth is going to pull you. Gravity is going to pull you down to the ground no matter where you are on the planet. That is an absolute truth. Okay? No matter where you are, it applies. The law of infinite supply is an absolute truth. We talked about that yesterday. The law of infinite supply says, as long as there is a demand, there will be an infinite supply to feed that demand. As long as there is a demand, there will be an infinite supply to feed that demand. Example, a mom who breastfeeds. The demand is that baby. As soon as her body finds out it's pregnant, her body starts to change to produce milk for the demand that it knows is coming. Once that baby enters the world and demands the milk physically, the body literally manifests the milk. And you will continue to produce, you will continue to produce breast milk until the demand is cut off. I breastfed my son for 9 months. We cut off the demand and the supply was infinitely cut off. Okay. Now, when I get the twins in a couple years, then I'll, but that's a absolute truth. It is absolutely true. No matter where you go on this planet, the law of electricity, the law of cause and effect, right? So is the belief that as an entrepreneur, I'm not going to make money some weeks absolutely true? Hell no, it's not. It's relative to me. You think Jeff Bezos don't make money every day? This man makes money every second. Every second, this man makes money. Thank you, Callie girl. Every second, this man makes money. Literally, every second. Right? So it's not an absolute truth that as an entrepreneur, you're going to go weeks without making money. Period. I love to hear that. That's why I'm here. God speaks through me to y'all. I come up here and that's the thing. Like I want to show people like where I'm at now. And it's not even where I'm at now, swimming in thousands and hundreds and millions of dollars. That's still my goal. Absolutely. But my goal is to wake you guys up. My goal is to give you the tools that you need to be successful so that you have it. It doesn't help me if I'm the only one that's successful. The money is a byproduct. Yes, of course, we want money. Duh, I want a better experience. I can coach you guys better when I have my bills paid. I can coach you guys better when I'm fulfilled, when I have what I need. That is the exchange. There's a service that is provided and money is the exchange. Like it's so common, but when it comes to investing in ourselves, ooh, we get real cheap. Real cheap. Oh, you want me to invest thousands of dollars in myself? Oh no. This Gucci bag? Let's get that. This flight though? Let's get that. No shade, because I absolutely will be getting the Gucci's and absolutely will be on the flights. But what I do first and what I know first is an investment in myself creates the investments for everything else. When you invest in yourself, you create the blueprint that actually makes that shit happen effortlessly. Okay, so we'll get back to that. Now, so that was the 4 steps that I want you guys to go through. What do I believe about money, myself, entrepreneurship, and parenthood, whichever one you want to choose? Are these beliefs limiting or empowering, and why? Where did this belief come from? And is it absolutely or relatively true? Okay. Those are the first 4 steps in changing your mind. These are critical steps. Critical steps. What do I believe? Is it limiting or empowering, and why? Where did it come from? What you doing, love? And is it absolutely or relatively true? Okay. All right. Now, the rest of this workbook, we're going to go through together. And this is going to be the other part of this class. So we have about 59 minutes, y'all. Okay. Any questions so far? Anything that's not clear? Anything you guys want me to expand on before I go forward? Zoomy Zoom, y'all are good? Okay. Right. So this is day 2. Day 2 is who I desire to be. What we did yesterday was we became aware of who we are currently, who we believe we are currently. We became aware of some of the conditions of our consciousness, some of the beliefs in our consciousness. Okay. So what today's lesson is about is actually changing your mind. What you've done is you've become aware of the beliefs that you want to change, but you must now change them. You have to follow through. Okay. So you have a mind, right? You are not your mind. You have a mind. You are a spiritual being. You have a intellectual and emotional mind, and you live in a physical body. Hear me again. You are not a human being. You are not a body. You are not a meat suit. You are a spiritual being. That's spirit. You have an intellectual and a emotional mind. That's the mind. And you live in a physical body. That's the body. So at the Grace School of Life, we connect your spirit, your mind, and body. Pillar 1, who am I? That's spirit. Pillar 2, who I desire to be. That's the mind. And pillar 3 is being. That's the body. That's where it actually manifests into your reality. But if you skip step 1 and you don't know who you are, and you try to create new results or a new life, you're going to be creating a new life from a human perspective because you don't even know your God. Hello, beautiful. Blessings to you too, well, love. On the contrary, if you understand who you are, right, but you don't change your mind, your body ain't gonna do nothing. Oh, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. Great. Okay, but you don't change your mind. The mind or the body is an instrument of the mind. I want you guys, and I'm not gonna be able to do it on this live. But I want to. So this is why I want you guys to get on Zoom. So anybody that's on TikTok or on Instagram, when I do these live streams, please register for the event, right? Because I can't like draw on my TikTok screen, but I can draw on the Zoom screen, right? And I want to show you guys this because this was so critical in changing my life, right? This is one of the things that I learned from Bob Proctor, right? So Bob Proctor was the foremost leader on human potential and success, right? He taught me the beginning pieces of who I am to be today, right? And one of the things he taught me about this symbol, and I'm going to try to show it to you guys and see if I can see if you can, hold on. Can you guys see this on my arm? Y'all see that? I know you do because I can see it. Okay, so that is a picture, clearly, right? Y'all see it. It's like, it looks like a stick man, doesn't it? Okay. Now, I'm not going to draw because one, and I've talked so much, so we're actually kind of, running out. Okay, so everybody sees that. Now, I want to ask you a question, and you may know the answer now, but you may not. If I asked you what your mind looks like, what would you say? What does your mind look like? What picture comes up when I say the word mind, right? We think in pictures, right? If I say cup, a picture of a cup comes up. If I say, what's your favorite color? The picture comes up. If I say, what'd your mom look like? There's a picture that comes up, right? We think in pictures. We think in images, right? When you imagine, when you use your imagination, you're creating images. Okay. When I say the word mind, though, what image comes up? Okay. Now, for me, before I got into this study, I didn't have a picture. I probably was going to be thinking of the brain, actually. I probably would have thought of the brain or just some freaking space. I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure. I don't know. I don't know what my mind looks like. I've never even thought about that. What does it look like? Who knows? Right. But if we think in pictures and we don't have a picture of something, it's hard to understand it. And if the mind controls the body, if we have to change the mind to change the body to change the results, we have to know, we have to understand it. Remember I told you guys yesterday, confidence comes from knowledge. When you know something, you're confident in that something. If you get into if you want to go bungee jumping or what did I do? Skydiving. If you want to go skydiving, right? Your confidence in the parachute is going to depend on how much you know about that parachute. If you don't know shit about that parachute, you're going to be very, very insecure about your ability to pull the parachute string and not hit the ground. On the contrary, if you know everything there is to know about that parachute, you know from the rooter to the tutor, as I say, you know everything about that parachute, you're going to be confident in your ability to use that parachute. There's a saying that says believes, kill, and believe. Oh, wait, there's a saying that says believes, kill, and believes, cure. And do both. Beliefs cure and beliefs kill. Clock it. Culture Jamaican apparel. Callie, I don't know if you're in here live, but can you pin that for me? Beliefs kill and beliefs cure. You're going to pick one. You get to pick. God gave you free will to choose. Today, when we create these new beliefs, God gave you free will to choose new beliefs. Today, he is giving you free will to choose a new belief. You can choose to believe that you can have your cake and eat it too. You can choose to believe that you're going to be just like Jeff Bezos, bringing money into your business every single day because you provide every service every single day. You can start to believe that you are healthy right now. You can start to believe that you are wealthy right now. You can start to believe that you literally live in an abundant universe. Take your ass outside and go try to count all the leaves on the trees and tell me you do not live in an abundant universe. Go outside right now. Count all the houses. Count all the cars, count all the people, count all the French fries. I want you to count every single one of them and tell me you do not live in an abundant and infinite universe. Stop listening to the media. They program you for, it's called programming for a reason. They're programming you to believe that you cannot have your cake and eat it too. There is no shortage. There is an infinite supply of everything you need to be successful. We live in God's universe. The universe is God's creation. God is the creator. We live in a self-sustaining universe. That book that I told you guys to read, Money is God in Action, we live in a self-sustaining universe. You are a part of a self-sustaining universe. All of your affairs are a part of a self-sustaining universe. That means your money is a part of a self-sustaining universe. Your health is a part of a self-sustaining universe. We are built for self-sustainment, and we have the sustainment inside with the kingdom of God. He gave it to us. Remember I said that? All these things, not a few, not a couple, not money, but not health but not wealth but not security, not security, but not peace of mind. All of these things, he did not create you to choose. And he's been telling me to be straight up and stop going around beating around the bush. You got to do something. You got to do something. You have to decide to think something different, and you have to decide to do something different. You leave this masterclass today and decide to be the same person you've always been, or don't make a decision at all and stay the same person you've always been. Do not complain to God later. He is giving you an opportunity to take him at his word and to do what you say you're going to do so that he can do what he said he's going to do. He said, give and you shall receive. Ask and it shall be shown unto you. Knock. You have to do something first. You have to make the decision. It's you, baby. God's not going to make the way without the decision. He only makes the way because of the decision. If you don't make a decision, he's not going to make the way, and he always keeps his promises. God says yes. It's about to be 11:11 on 2/22. Please do not play with these numbers. Do not play with yourself. You are not a human being. Let go of the BS that they taught you. I was in it with you, baby. I didn't fully escape until last year. I started my escape in 2020. It don't have to take you 5 years to escape. You can escape today. You can start right now. It is almost 11:11 on 2/22. Okay? Please do not. It is 11:11. Let's just take a moment. Okay? Let's just take a moment to be in gratitude. When you see 11:11 going forward, I want you to take a moment in gratitude. Become aware of all that you have to be grateful for. When I see 11:11, that's like awareness, presence, source, God. Find something to be grateful for right now. I'm grateful for this baby that's grabbing on me. I'm grateful for everybody that is on this event. I'm grateful for the people that are going to watch it later. I'm grateful for this house. I'm grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for my followers. I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for myself for giving other people, right? I want you guys, what is it, baby? What? I'm almost done, love. I'm almost finished. I know you're sleepy. That's so sleepy. Hold on. I know, babe. What? You just not gonna let me finish this. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can do both. Okay. All right. You took your socks off. I don't know why you did that. Oh, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. You gonna lay with me like this? A little baby. That's my sweetness. Okay. So he seems to be comfortable like that. That's cool. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me get back to being a mompreneur. But no, like, I want you guys to understand. I'm grateful for God and my family. Like, y'all know that God didn't wake some of his children up today, right? Do y'all understand that? Like, not everybody woke up. You did. It's not happenstance. It's not just because. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. You're on this masterclass it's not coincidence that you got on this event. You weren't following me before this event. You didn't know me before this event. There is a reason that you are here. And my job is to help you figure out what that reason is. What do you love? What would you do no matter what? I would teach this material no matter if I got paid again, guys. Do y'all understand me? Like, my success has not come fully through this business yet. It doesn't have to. I know that I'm doing this out of God in my heart for other people. I don't have to see money coming through this yet. I know it's coming today. Okay? The students are already enrolling today. I'm not playing no games. I've been talking to God straight up. God, you done the work with me. I'm ready to steward your children back to you. Let's release it. Let's open the floodgates. Bring me your children so I can lead them back to you in consciousness. Bring me your children. Bring them to me. You already know who I am. You already took me through the trials and the tribulations. You already took me through being a caterpillar and now I'm a butterfly. So I know exactly what they're about to undergo. Send them to me. Release the floodgate. That's how I've been talking to God. I haven't been, oh my God, thank you so much for X. I've been straight up now. You got my clients, God. Release them. You have the $1 million a month. Release it. We got stuff to do. You got a laundry list of things you want me to do. I need the money and the clients to do it. I need the people to heal. I need the people to make this shit happen. You got it. Give it to me. That's how we've been talking lately. And he is absolute. You have to, and this is another thing too. You must demand. Remember what did I say earlier, y'all? I said the law of infinite supply says as long as there is a demand, there must be a demand. I don't know how about y'all, but they had me feeling like the word demand was bad. Oh, well, she's so demanding. No, God, that's what God said. There must be a demand. If there's no demand, there's no supply. If you don't demand the life that you want to live, you will be given the life that you settle for. You must demand the best of everything. Call God, call on him, command him to do what you want him to do. That's how he works. He says yes. Y'all weren't on my last event whenever it was a couple events ago. I had an event called God Says Yes. Guess what we talked about? God says yes. God is affirmative. He does not argue or reason with you. You say, God, I want a $40 million house and this is what I'm going to do to get it. He says yes. He says yes. God, I'm deciding to move into a $40 million house this year. In exchange, I am going to help 10,000 of your children get back to you in consciousness. He says yes. That's what he says. He doesn't debate with you. But you talk about, oh, I can't pay my bills. Oh, I can only afford a 2-bedroom apartment. Well, yes. Yes, here's not enough money to pay your bills. Yes, here's just enough for that 1-bedroom apartment. Do you know that God is a God of overflow? God is a God of abundance. If you're not experiencing abundance, that's because you're not asking for it. You know what didn't Jesus feed the 5,000 people and have 12 baskets left over? I think that's what the Bible says. My man fed 5,000 people with 5 fish and 2 loaves of bread and had 12 baskets left over. God is not a God of just enough. God is not a God of either or, have your cake or eat it too. No, he is a God of have all the cake and eat all of it. Like that's where you come from. That's who you are. The kingdom of God is within you. That overflow is within you, right? So what is your purpose? What is your God-given purpose of service? How do you want to serve humanity? If you want to work for somebody, that's totally fine. What do you want to do? How high do you want to go in that company? Before I had this calling on my heart, I wanted to be the CEO of whatever company. I'm going to be the CEO. I'm CEO of my own company, a $1 billion one too, right? But what do you want? What are you passionate about? What did you get in trouble for when you were younger? My mom, from the time that she put me into daycare to 11th grade, she got phone calls and emails about how I would not stop talking. She's such a great student. We love Maya. She always gets her work done. She's always the first done, blah, 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 blah. But she won't stop talking. She just won't stop talking. You know why? Because I have something to say. Because I'm supposed to speak for a living. I'm supposed to talk for a living. That's what my purpose is. That's what my God-given purpose of service is to speak, is to teach, is to guide, is to lead. You can't sit over here, baby. You can sit right here, though. It's to lead, right? It's to guide. That's what my purpose of service is. But for you, it might be something else, right? Sit with God and figure that out. Sit with him in the silence. Too many of y'all don't like silence. It's uncomfortable. Because the outside world that's always on, it starts to be your inside world. So when you're sitting in silence, you're hearing all of that. But you got to get through that. You got to get that. You got to get through that first. You have to get through that chatter to be able to hear God. Stick with it. I've been meditating on and off for 5 years. And in the last 6 months, I've been so consistent with my meditations. It's freaking crazy. Like how loud God is in my ear when I don't have the outside world being louder. Okay. So I want you guys to figure out what it is that you want, right? The next step when it comes to that belief and actually changing your belief is to figure out what you want in reference to that belief. So for me, I'm an entrepreneur, right? What I want in reference to entrepreneurship is I want to have $1 million months. I want months where millions of dollars come into my experience because I am helping hundreds and thousands of God's children reconnect with him in consciousness. That's what I want. I want $1 million a month from bringing God's children back to him in consciousness. That is my contribution. That is my service. That's what I want to be paid for. That ain't got nothing to do with y'all. That's God. God is the supply. Your clients are not your supply. Your students are not your supply. The digital products are not your supply. Social media is not your supply. Your employer is not your supply. Your job's not your supply. The marketing reels that you do is not your supply. God is your supply. God supplies. I'm not asking y'all for $1 million a month. I'm asking the big God for $1 million a month. And he provides the vessels through which that comes to me. But y'all are not my supply. Okay. I don't even know what Mark 11:23 is. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to. Make sure you put in the comments. Maybe I'll read it before. But 1, 2, 3 is also an angel number. And that's one of my angel numbers that means take action. Like 1, 2, 3, go. Let's get it. Take some action. God's telling me to take action. And I see 121 over here, which is another angel number. Too much going on. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I said all that to say 1, 2, 3 means take action for me. For that angel number, when I see it, that means go mode. Do it. Take action right now, immediately. Okay. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision to be something different, to do something different, to think something different. If you continue to be and think and do as you have always been and thought and did, you will continue to have what you have currently. In order for you to get something different, you must do something different. You must be something different. What's the quote? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting different results. Insanity is keeping the same belief system that you had before this masterclass and expecting to get different results. The insanity is attending this masterclass, hearing God tell you to take action, and you deciding not to take action and then being upset later that your life is still the same. That's insanity. You must do something different. You must think something different. Something has to be different. The scripture is be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, baby. Renewing your mind. It's about renewing your mind. It's about bringing your mind back to God in consciousness. They told us it's about the outside, the degrees, the relationships, all this other stuff. That's not what it's about. It's not about the outside. It's about the inside. I told you guys yesterday, it don't matter what strategy you use. If you have the consciousness of success, if you are doing things in the God consciousness, meaning God is at the forefront of everything you be, think, feel, and do, every and any strategy will work. Success, life is 99% consciousness, 1% strategy. Hear me again. There's that 1, 2, 3 again. Life and success is 1% strategy, 99% consciousness. That is why I teach you the consciousness work, because I know that it does not matter what strategy you want to use. If it's real estate, if it's digital products, if it's Forex, you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you want to be a content creator, you want to be a brand rep or ambassador, you want to, whatever it is, whatever strategy you want to use will work. Because I teach you about the consciousness, which is the 99% that makes the shit work. The other part of that, I don't need that right now, baby. Thank you, though. Thank you. The other thing is, it doesn't matter what strategy you use. If you do not have the consciousness of success, it does not matter what strategy you use. If your consciousness is of lack and limitation, I can't have my cake and eat it too. If it's of failure, if it's of doubt, if it's of worry, if it's of scarcity, if your consciousness is of lack and limitation, baby, it does not matter what strategy you use. The return on investment for anything that you do with the great school of life is 20, 30, 40, 50 times. Oh, look at that 333. It is 50 times more valuable to you than you going to find out the strategy. I can give you the strategy that I've used to create these live events, to do content, to monetize social media, to do all these things. I can give you the strategy, 100%. I can give you exactly what I've done, bullet by bullet, blueprint. But if you don't have the consciousness that I have, if you don't have the consciousness of success, if you do not know and truly believe and operate as if you are God in human form, my strategy is not going to work for you, baby. That's why I don't go to the strategy. We talk about strategy at the very end of your time with us. I mean, the very end. Like, we get you all together first. Now, of course, if you already have something going, we're going to nurture that, right? But we're going to nurture you, because you are what makes the shit work. Billionaires have 30,000 streams of income. You know why all of them work? Because they have the consciousness of success. No, honestly, God, I wouldn't say mostly speaks to me in numbers. Somebody asked if God speaks to me in numbers mostly. No, I wouldn't say mostly, but he does. Absolutely. Like, I mean, that is, and this is the thing. This is why I know everything happens for a reason and everything is the way that it should be. I have a math degree, right? That's not coincidence. Like, me and numbers, I love numbers, right? Because math is the only subject that's like the same in every country, right? Like, it's universal. Like, math is a universal truth. Remember earlier we were talking about absolute truth. We're talking about relative and absolute. It don't matter where you go on the planet. 1 + 1 = 2. It don't matter. It does not matter, right? So I think that's why I gravitated towards it from a spiritual perspective, even though I didn't know that. I was a child. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm going to need this for my spiritual awakening. No, like, I just knew I was good at it. Right. But absolutely, I think that God does speak to me through numbers, but no, God speaks to me all the time. I have gotten to the point where I'm very in tune with the inner voice. I'm very in tune with my intuition. Your intuition is God speaking to you. So that nudge, that feeling that tells you to do this. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Oh my God. Okay. All righty. So we're gonna speed this on up. Actually, we're just gonna get you down from here. Okay. Too much going on. Oh. All right, y'all. So God speaks through me through a lot of ways. Numbers, I meditate. God speaks to me through my son. My son just came from God. just came. He's a spiritual being, same as me, having a human experience. He just got from God, came to me from God 13 months ago, right? So he speaks to me all the time, through my son, because he's just the light. He has no worries. He has no fear. He has no doubt. He knows he can do any. He's never walked. Well, he walks now, but I used to say like he never walked a day in his life, but he knew he could walk just by seeing other people walk, right? He knew he could walk just by seeing other people walk. Never walked a day in his life, right? So if you are somebody, and let me go ahead and get this transition because he got something going on, and I just need to. Had a PhD in math, and she's numbers when my aunt had a PhD in math. She uses numbers when she talks about God's visions. I love numbers. I love them. And synchronicities. I mean, I have 444 tatted on my arm, like so. Oh my gosh, we didn't even get into my tattoo. Anyways, I might have to just do another session. I was just talking so much. But let me just introduce this really quickly, what this tattoo is, right? So the tattoo that I showed you guys earlier, this is your mind. This is what your mind looks like. So back in, I think like the 40s, right? There was a doctor who was basically like, all of these people in my profession are going to the symptoms of these doctors are treating the symptoms, right? When you go to the doctor and, he treats the symptoms of your issue. Oh, well, I'm having heartburn. Oh, we'll take this medicine. Oh, well, I'm having this. Oh, we'll pop this pill. That's treating symptoms. The root cause of your illness, of your dis-ease is your consciousness, period. Consciousness is the cause of all things. Consciousness is all things, right? So basically, this doctor was like, y'all treating symptoms, y'all not really helping these people. We need to go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is the mind. Well, nobody knows what the mind looks like. If we don't know what it looks like, how are we going to use it? How are we going to understand it? So they created this picture. Oh, wait, wrong arm. Right? So it's a stick man. So you see the top circle is the head or the mind, part of the mind. So this is the mind. This is the body, but the whole picture is the mind. Right? So I also teach you that at the Great School of Life, right? I give you a picture of what your mind looks like so you can understand it. Now, I don't have the time to get into it now. I went off on a tangent. I apologize. But what I want you, the purpose of this lesson today, right, was to remind you that you are one with God. You are spirit. You are source right now. You are God in human form. I and my Father are one. You cannot be separated from God. You and God are soulmates. Okay? Now I'm gonna try to get this back in order here so I can get my views together. But Houston, please leave this alone. I'm trying to record. I'm almost done. I promise. I'm almost finished. You know what? Let's just do it like this. This is fine. So yeah. So losing my train of thought. You are God in human form. You are a spiritual being. You're having a human experience. You are not a human being. You are a spiritual being. Okay. You have a mind. You have an intellectual mind, right? And you have an emotional mind. So what the next step for you would be, right? And this is why I still want you guys to get the workbook. So even if you didn't use it for this event, but you use it later, I want you to get the workbook because it's still going to take you through every step you need to actually change your mind, right? This event is about awareness, but I want you to be changed and you need to know the steps to change your mind. Okay. So what I want you guys to do tonight is I want you to figure out what it is you want. What do you want? What is it that you want? I want you to think about it right now, actually, while we're on this call. What do you want to create? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What type of life do you want to live? God said, ask, believing, and you will receive. He didn't say ask and keep it under, Houston. He didn't say ask and keep it under this limit. He didn't say ask, but only for this much. He didn't say ask, but this is the cap. You ask for what you believe you deserve, and God gives you what you believe you deserve. You can have so much more than what you have currently, but what you're asking for is what you receive. And if you tell God that you don't have enough money to pay your bills, and you don't have this and you don't have that, He says yes, and He provides the way for you to have just what you need, if not what you need, because that's what you've asked for, right? So what is it that you guys really want? I want you guys to really think about what type of life you want to live and how you can have your cake and eat it too. You did not attend this 2-day event just to leave and have the same no cake or have the cake and not eat it, or eat the cake and feel guilty about eating it. Like, you're supposed to be successful. You're supposed to have money. You're supposed to have fulfilling relationships. You're supposed to be healthy. You're supposed to be wealthy. You're supposed to be rich in health, in happiness, in joy, in relationships, in business, in wealth, in health, in fashion, in beauty, in self. You are supposed to be wealthy. You're supposed to be rich. Whatever rich means to you, you are supposed to be that. God created you in his image. God does not want you to be poor or to struggle. The society has programmed you to believe that you are supposed to be poor and you are supposed to struggle. And that if you struggle on earth, you're going to go to heaven. Let me be the one to tell you, you are supposed to experience your heaven on earth here, today, right now. You don't wait for some future time for your abundance and your good to be given to you. You accept it and you claim it and you take it right now. That's what you do. That's what you're here for. So what is it that you want? What do you want? If you can tell me what you want, I can tell you how to get it. And even if you can't tell me what you want, I can get you to the point where you're going to be able to tell me what it is that you want. So let's get into it. Let's dive in. This was an introduction. This is an introduction to the Great School of Life. This 2-hour masterclass is an introduction of what you can expect when you enroll and become a student and become a part of the Great Life family, right? You can expect someone who is going to be real, upfront, and honest with you. I don't sugarcoat. God told me to stop sugarcoating. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be a sugar. I don't sugarcoat. You are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution. It's you. I'm not the type of mentor to tell you that I'm the solution. I'm the solution to your problems. No, you're the solution to your problems. I'm the awareness of the solution, and I am the guide for your solution. But you have to decide to take the solution, and you have to decide to do the work, right? If you want, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, this baby right here. You good? Okay, right. So the Great School of Life is a non-traditional education institution, right? We are a God-centered education institution. We teach you 3 things, right? We teach you to remember your oneness with God, to remember that you are one with the source of supply. Number 2, we teach you how to unlock the riches of your mind, kind of like we did today, right? This is an introduction of how we actually change your mind, right? The riches that you have been promised, they're locked up in your mind. We have to unlock it, right? But once it's unlocked and once we actually reprogram it, right? The third thing that we do at the Great School of Life is we help you be that person. When you decide that you're going to create these new beliefs, when you decide that you're going to create an elevated identity, you have to actually become that person. You have to be that person. You have to embody what you just said you are. Remember, God does not give you what you want. He gives you who you are. He gives you what you are. He gives you what's in harmony with who you believe you are. So once we unlock your mind, we have to get you to become this new person in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your actions, in the way that you show up. We have to get you to actually be this person. And once you are completely, your spirit, your mind, and your body are all one pointed towards the life of your dreams, that is when it manifests for you. And you live your life as you are this person. We don't teach you about intermittent manifestations. I don't teach you how to manifest occasionally. You're going to be transformed when you leave the Great School of Life. You are going to be living in spirit for eternity. When you leave the Great School of Life, you are going to be living in spirit. In spirit's one word, like inspired, for eternity. That's what we teach you at the Great School of Life. We teach you how to live in God for your presence on this planet, so that when you die and have your eternal heaven, right, you've experienced heaven on earth. Okay? Now, what, baby? Okay, I'm almost done. Hold this for me. Just hold that. I'm almost finished. I'm gonna speed this right up. Okay. So right now there's two we do have open enrollment at the Great School of Life, right? So there's two options right now for people who want to stay in this energy. You are ready to decide to have your cake and eat it too. You're ready to decide to let go of your life as a caterpillar and become a butterfly. You must transform. You must transform your mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is the basis of what we teach at the Great School of Life. So we're not going to teach you some shit that you're going to learn and then 3 years later you're going to be back to the old you. Absolutely not. You're going to continue to elevate. You're going to continue to come back. You're going to continue to get what they call higher level degrees. You're going to have a life degree in you. So if your consciousness is right, remember, if the 99% is right and is focused on God, who can be against you? If God is for you, who can be against you? That's what we teach. That's what we do. We give you the power back. So when you invest in yourself, what you're investing in is your power back. And that power back is going to allow you to multiply any and everything that you invest times 15, right? So for anybody who wants to stay in this energy, for anyone who is deciding to continue with the Great School of Life, to continue changing their mind and to continue having their cake and eat it too, there's two options. And because it is 222, I have some great 222 specials. Okay. So the signature course for the Great School of Life is Thinking from the End. Thinking from the End is a 6-month course. This is total transformation for moms and entrepreneurs. This is step-by-step digging through what you believe today about yourself. I'm almost done, love. Hold this. It's a 6-month course of going through what you believe to be true today, where you want to go, and we're going to get you on the road to being that. Okay. This is the solution for what you've been asking for. If you've been asking for more money, this is the solution. If you've been asking for better health, if you've been asking for better relationships, if you've been asking for more clarity, if you've been asking for purpose, if you've been asking for children, if you've been asking for business, if you've been asking for career growth, if you've been asking for more joy, more happiness. It does not matter what you've been asking for. Thinking from the End is the solution. Because what we do again is we go to the root cause of your problems. It's not that you don't have enough money. That's not what your problem is. The problem is you believe that you do not have enough money. That's the issue. So we take those seeds out, we pull them out completely, and we plant new seeds. And then we let those seeds bloom. And as long as that seed is undisturbed, which that's what we guarantee, those seeds will bloom. You will continue to reap the fruit forevermore. Okay. So the Great Thinking from the End is a 6-month course, right? I'm going to give you the solution to what you believe your problem is. I don't know what you think your problem is, but the Thinking from the End is the solution to that problem. That's a 6-month course, right? I do have a course that is coming out. It starts on March 3rd. This is a new course. This is a 6-week course. This is the course for people who are ready to start the transformation, but not quite ready to be fully kind of in Houston, stop. But fully trying to get my words together. The 6-week course is an introduction for spiritual awakening, right? This is for people who want to get a quick kind of, okay, I see it, I'm ready, let's do it type thing, right? You want to see some results very quickly, right? In the next 6 weeks. Honestly, the first day you get to class, you're going to see the results, right? But that course is Oneness. Oneness is for anybody who is new to spiritual awakening, who feels like they're ready for more, doesn't really know where to start. You may be a business owner, you may have a career, but you know that there's more for you and you want to start that process of uncovering that. Right. So that's Oneness. So Oneness is typically Oneness is $3,333 in full. Right. And we do have a payment plan. That's Oneness. That's a 6-week course. Right. But because it is 222, because I love that angel number so much. Right. You can enroll in Oneness today up until March 1st. So you have a week. You can, or is it? Yeah, a week. You can enroll in Oneness for $2,222. Okay. just because it's 222 today. Okay. So literally, you're going to invest about $2,200 in yourself. What I want you to think about when you're investing anytime is not what it's going to cost you, but what is it worth to you? Yeah, it costs you $2,222, but what is it worth to you? The health that you've been dreaming of. You know how it says that the disease runs in your family? It doesn't. It runs in the belief system of your family. Yeah. Right? The money that you've been asking for, is it worth the 6 figures you want to make or 6 figures you want to make a month? That relationship that you're looking for, that soulmate, that partner, is it worth that for you? The business, the spiritual, and all of that is outside stuff. The connection that you have in knowing that you are one with God and living your life as if you're one with God and having that confidence, that clarity, and that certainty in everything you think, feel, and do is worth 20 times what you're going to invest in yourself. And everything else is a byproduct, right? Everything that I mentioned is a byproduct of your relationship with God. That's the real worth in investing in the great school of life, in yourself in the great school of life. Okay. So oneness, there are 2 options for oneness though. You can do the in full $2,222, or you can do a payment plan. It's $1,222, 2 payments. That is oneness. That course starts on March 3rd. If you are interested in that course, please send me a DM. Please reach out to me and let me know that you're interested in that one. Okay. So I can get the list of people together for that course because we're starting on the 3rd together. Thinking from the End is a 6-month course, right? And it's typically $10,000. It's typically $10,000 in full. Again, don't focus on what it costs you. What is it worth to you? What is it worth to you to have total transformation? What is it worth to you to have the life that you've actually desired your whole life? What is it worth to you to be in a community with people who are also big, they have big dreams. They're doing the same things that you want to do to keep you on course, to find your tribe of people who actually believe the same things that you believe, right? But because it's 222, and I don't think I've ever done a discount this deep on Thinking from the End, but I already know the value that's in it. So it is what it is. God told me to give more than I take in use value. That's what I'm doing. Thinking from the End is typically $10,000 in full, but if you enroll in Thinking from the End before March 1st, okay, you'll get Thinking from the End $2,222 off. Okay, so instead of it being $10,000, it'll be like $7,700. Right? Or you can do Thinking from the End at the $10,000 price and get oneness included. Okay. So 3 options. We have a 6-week course starting March 3rd. This is an introduction to the life of your dreams. This is for us to get you clear on you being a caterpillar and get you ready for that cocoon, get you ready for being that butterfly. Thinking from the End is going to, once you get in that cocoon, this is the butterfly transformation. This is the transformation of becoming a butterfly. Okay. So if you want to enroll in oneness and you want to get into your cocoon, that's $2,222. And all of the courses are linked. Yes, absolutely. So please reach out to me if you have questions or click the link in my bio. So oneness, you're a caterpillar. You want to get into your cocoon to be a butterfly, $2,222 in full. You are a caterpillar who's already in the cocoon, you want to become a butterfly, that's Thinking from the End, that's 6 months. Okay, it's $7,778. But if you are the caterpillar that knows that you want the butterfly transformation, you want it all right now, and you know you want both, then you can enroll in Thinking from the End. You can enroll in Thinking from the End for $10,000 and get oneness included. So you'll have the 2 courses for the full price. It's absolutely up to you, but you must make a decision. The money is not going to come until you make the decision. The resources are not going to come until you make the decision. Do not reach out to me. Do not leave this if I can't afford that. I don't have the money. I don't know how it's going to happen. You're not going to know how it's going to happen because you haven't made the decision to make it happen. You're not going to know how or when, and God is not going to make the way until you make the decision. So do not make an excuse of why you cannot invest in yourself through the Great School of Life. Do not make an excuse of why the money is not in your bank account, or why you can't find it, or why you're gonna put it off for another 3 months. Do not make an excuse. What is our key statement of truth? I don't make excuses. I make decisions. When I make the decision, God makes the way. I don't make excuses. I make decisions. When I make the decision, God makes the way. Make the decision to enroll. Make the decision to become the highest version of yourself. Make the decision to take God at his word and unlock the promised land that he promised you. And God will make the way to make it happen for you. That's how it works. When you want that Gucci bag, you make a decision to get the Gucci bag and you have the money. You use the money for that. You have everything you need right now. The money is here. Everything you need is here. Nothing is created. Nothing is destroyed. Energy is only transmuted, transferred. The money is already here that you need. The resources is already here that you need. The clients that whatever you need is already here. But you have to make a decision and cut off anything that does not align with that decision. And when you do, God will make the way. So if you are interested in enrolling in the Great School of Life, reach out to me. You can click the link in my bio. I also have 2 options. You can have an hour call with me where we're going to program your GPS. We'll go over what your God-given purpose of service is, and I'll show you where you are currently, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there. That's $222 normally, right? Of course, for 222. Or you can book a 30-minute life advice call. That's a call where we go over what courses would be best for you based on what your goals are, what it is that you want. That course or that 30-minute call is $100, but that $100 does go to whatever course you enroll in. Okay. I love you all. Thank you so much for working with me. Baby boy was doing his thing today. He's so grown now. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. But I'm a mompreneur. My job is to show up and show you that this shit is possible. This is me having my cake and eat it too. I imagined this 4 years ago for myself, where I would be coaching oh my gosh, bro, where I would be coaching my clients, I would be coaching my students, and I would have my child with me. My child wouldn't be in daycare. They would be with me. This is my have your cake and eat it too. Yeah, the money, I want that too. And it's coming. It's here, right? But this right here shows me clearly that I am living the life of my dreams right now, no matter how much money is in my bank account. I have what I need and I have what I want, no matter what the number shows. And that's where I want to get you. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, it's 222. So we're running some 222 sales. I will update everything in the email if you signed up for this link or this event via Zoom. If you did not, just click the link in my bio. I did have some technical difficulties earlier with the links. So if you're having technical difficulties, that does not mean you're not supposed to do it. That means reach out to me so we can get it popping. But I'm serious, guys. This is what you can expect. This type of content, this type of teaching, this type of, leadership. I lead from God's perspective. I teach you from God's perspective. I'm not teaching you from the human perspective because you're not a human. Okay. So I love you all. I cannot wait to see all the students that enroll. I cannot wait to see, like I said, I've been talking to God. I said, God, release my students. What you doing? Release the clients. You already know what it is. You know what I'm going to do. I'm bringing them back to you. Release them, right? And I wholeheartedly believe that he has done so and know that he has. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that enrolls. Oneness starts on March 3rd, and then Thinking from the End, you can enroll in at any time. It's already, the course is already created, but you will have live sessions with me as well. So reach out to me. DM me, send me a comment, or just get in touch with me. If the link is not working, if something's not working, reach out to me, okay? And let me know, because I'll probably have to put the code somewhere or do something, so please reach out to me. Literally, y'all, right before this event, life was trying to tell me not to do it. The devil was like, nah, you gotta do all these things. You don't have this together, literally. But I made a decision to show up for y'all. I made a decision to show up for myself. So let me get the back. the back together. God told me right before the event, he was like, give them that discount. That's what I'm telling you to do. Do it. So I didn't set it up previously. But reach out to me if you guys have questions. I love you all. Let me know how I can support you, and how I can be of service. And let's get it. Again, do not focus on what it's going to cost you. Actually, focus on what's going to cost you. What's it going to cost you not to invest? What's the opportunity cost? You don't live the life of your dreams. You continue to live the life that you're living. You try to create the life of your dreams, but you don't really have the blueprint, right? You ask people that you have access to, but they're on the same wavelength that you're on, or they're not coming from God's perspective, right? There's a lot of cost for you not to invest, right? But when you do, what is it worth to you? The life of your dreams is what you want to create. Okay. So come from that perspective. I love you all. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye. Boy, get out my, come on. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I don't even, woo, God is good. It's been